Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Elite Racing Network. Tonight in the Mrs. Goody's Grand National Series, we are live at Iowa for the JD's Hilltop Salvage 150. There you take a look at the weather. No real wind tonight, partly cloudy. It's nighttime though, so there's going to be a ton of grip out here to be had. Taking a look, we got 150 laps, 3 sets of tires, and a fuel window of around 85 to 90 laps. Joining me tonight again, and as always, is Robert Hill Jr. Robert, these sets of tires I think are going to come into play. This place wears tires out, and we typically have at least one long green flag run in this race. So what are you looking to see tonight?
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. Good evening, everybody. And first off, happy Thanksgiving to my fellow Canadians here. Yeah, I'm expecting tire wear to come into play big time here. We have a pretty decent field here tonight of our usuals, as well as a couple guys dipping in for the first time in a while. We have Ethan Burrell back with us, I believe, for the second time this season. We have Jonathan Cutlett making his series debut, and we have a couple other heavyweights in the field tonight. So I'm expecting this show to be pretty good tonight. Hopefully, not too many incidents, and we're able to get some nice green flag runs, as you mentioned, Chris.
Yeah, this is one of those places that people see coming and they think it's going to be a lot of cautions, and normally we will get our fair share of cautions. But this race always sneaks in a long green run where we might see some green flag stops, especially in a race like this where you got 3 sets, maybe you run into the first 50, 60 short pit, try to do something, get a little off sequence. Maybe if it's green that long, you might try to turn it into a 2-stop race instead of a 1-stop race, because based on these fuel windows, we can make it on 1 stop. So it'll be real interesting to see how it plays out. I was told that this place has got a ton of grip tonight, little free taking off, and it snugs up. So I think we will see a good race. Hopefully we'll see some 3 and 4 racing, turn 3 and 4 uh, widen out and become multi-groove, and they're not stuck in one lane, whether that's the top or the bottom. But only time will tell. As you know, Robert, sometimes we come here and you can run through 3 and 4 anywhere. Sometimes you're kind of stuck to either the bottom or the top.
Absolutely. And Chris, qualifying just wrapping up here. It's Tyler Fode on the pole once again, with Scott Crump outside him, Blaze Brinkley in third, Tyler Pop fourth, Latham Joyner fifth, RC Anderson in sixth, Tate Lytle seventh, Mike Canado, nice qualifying run there in eighth, with Jesse Rasmus and Matthew Weeks there in 10th. As a couple of our big guys have qualified outside the top 10 here, like Josh Adams there in 11th, and further down through the field, Kwame Scott, winner a few weeks ago there in 15th. Trey Holmes has been pretty decent. He's back in 18th with Chad behind him. And just as we continue through the field here, Ethan Burrell making his return tonight, P27 in qualifying. Expect him to try to work his way up through the field, as well as a guy like a Johnny Thomas, as he'll try to work his way up. And Garrison Hogan back in 38th, always strong on these races. But Chris, we have only 3 races left before the playoffs get underway. So why don't we take a quick look at our playoff window here. As you can see, RC Anderson is locked into the playoffs, 131 points to the good. Just behind him, Tyler Fode, 93 points to the good, with Latham Joyner, the rookie, right behind them. And way down at that bubble for the playoff spot, it is tight, with Tate Lytle only 9 points to the good, Chad Frankenfield at 8, Michael Honsack at 3, and Wyatt Canado 1 ahead of Trevor Elam. And then you've guys like Josh Adams, Johnny Thomas, and Jay Kaner, anywhere between 20 and 24 points behind them. So that's going to be interesting to watch here, Chris, tonight. And in addition to that, we also have our rookie battle. That's another one to keep an eye on here. Latham Joyner, 44 points over Ethan Stanley currently, and Jacob Adams, always strong. I don't believe he's in the field tonight again. I believe he's still celebrating some big life moments he had recently, so he'll be back with us hopefully soon.
Yeah, they are still, the baby was born a little premature, so they're just working through everything. But everything is great. I talk to Jake a few times a week, so usually more, but with everything going on, I haven't been bugging him too much this week. Everything's great, everybody's healthy, but the baby being premature, they're just being extra cautious.
Absolutely,
And
that's always important.
We just got waved off here, not going. So I'm going to take this opportunity to do some sponsor reads. This is the 2022 B Mrs. Goody's Grand National Series. Mrs. Goodies, great premier partner. We love them. She's great. I talk to Goody quite often. and they do hooded towels and handmade items for babies, kids, you, and your home. And you can look them up on Facebook today. TA Services, they are a trusted domestic and international full-service third-party logistics provider offering freight brokerage, managed transportation, warehousing, fulfillment, and cross-border logistics to shippers around the world. Blue Egg Marketing, they are the marketing department for small business. And Brixi Cam, Brixi is a venture-backed tech company based in Toronto and Boston, and they are on a mission to reimagine the group photo experience. And then, of course, tonight's race is JD's Hilltop. So James Dewar is a Goodrich scrap metal authority with over 50 years of experience in an ever-changing industry. JD is the guy you want to call to get rid of your old junk, from washing machines that no longer work to decommissioned Boeing 747s. And they are set on top of the beautiful Goodrich Hill, and they are your go-to place with no job being too big or too small.
Absolutely,
And
Chris.
my pick to win here before we go green. You ready?
Sir.
Josh Adams. Going to make up points on the cut line, get him a win tonight. What you got?
That's definitely a pretty solid pick there. His lights are off on the pace car, and we are underway here. Tyler Fody will lead us to the green here. Let's just get this swapped over to oh, that already got a little hairy there with Jesse Rasmus in the rear.
Josh Adams already has a ton of damage on the nose of his car after that. So my pick to win is probably done. That's, I mean, instantaneous. I picked the guy that's going to be involved.
Oh, Scott Crump into the side of Tyler Pop. This thing is getting hairy already. My pick is coming into the picture now here. That's the 50 of R.C. Anderson. He's been strong all season long. That will continue tonight, but these guys are excited to get going here tonight, Chris.
Yeah.
As you see Blaze.
You know, and somebody I want to talk about here real quick.
Sir.
Like that front. Brandon Ultra, the Adam Petty machine. Gorgeous, and it's starting up here with some track position.
Yeah, this is one of the first times we've really seen Brandon Ultra qualify towards the front in these races. Looks a little loose there. Brandon hanging on to that thing. Jeez, he's getting his TV time right now, but as you see, 3 wide right behind them, Chad Frankenfield, along with Connor Jones and Harrison Talon in the back there.
Yeah, Chad really sent it in there. There's still 3 wide all the way down here. Down to 2 wide. The 34 is going to try to come back on top of the 15. Oh, just about some contact there.
Connor Jones gets that spot there. He's able to get up in front of Harrison Talon here. That battle will continue. Back up the front, it is Tyler Fody ahead of Blaze Brinkley. But yeah, these guys are excited here tonight, as you can see by some of these early incidents. Let's put the gap on the tower here just so you can see the distance between these guys.
Chad is 3 wide again.
Head on back to Chad Frankenfield here. 3 wide inside Vincent Isabella and Gerald Campbell. Pop out to our blimp cam here. We follow this along.
I think we need a Chad cam. He's already been 3 wide twice in 5 laps.
Yeah,
Chad cam might come in handy.
I think this man has a Chad ton of energy here tonight, Chris.
Yeah, and I didn't give him a shout out, of course. Chad runs this league, puts on a great show multiple nights a week, and none of that could be done without him or without our wonderful David Berry.
Yeah, I was talking to Huck before we got going here tonight. He is visiting his in-laws right now, so if he is watching with them, hello, Mr. Huckleberry, hello, in-laws, as Chad was looking 3 wide once again, but he'll get back in line. Right now, it looks like we got a battle for the lead here. Blaze Brinkley looking to the inside of Tyler Fody for the lead.
Yeah, Fody's holding up pretty strong on that top side. We will see if the pass can be made. I got a chance to talk to Fody, and he said this place had a ton of grip, but he said it was not tight. He said it got tighter, but it wasn't tight. So like, it stayed pretty free. He liked it. We will see if he can hold that lead there. It's really hard to make a pass work on the bottom here at Iowa.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch Blaze Brinkley. I think he will have to send it in a little bit deeper if he wants to make a pass on the bottom here. As you see right now, he does look, but there's just no room for him to go. He'll get back in the line here, but just quickly glancing through the field, Gerald Campbell's already a big mover here. We're on lap 9. He's up 10 spots, Chris, as is Chad Frankenfield. As you see Chad on the outside of Wyatt Canadal here. Wyatt moving backwards, started 8th down to 11th right now on lap number 10 here in the JD's Hilltop Salvage 150.
I would be worried moving forward like this because they've done it all on the top. And if they hurt their tires, they're going to be regretting that in 10 or 15 laps.
Absolutely. See a lot of guys such as Chad and Gerald up 10 spots. Jay Kaner, David Tooker both up 8 as well. And then you see some guys that have dropped quite a bit. Tate Lytle down 7 spots, as you see Matthew Weeks almost getting to the side of Jay Kaner there. But Tate Lytle falling back through the field, as is Vincent Isabella. We saw him 3 wide with Chad just a few laps ago. He's all the way back to 21st now. And Michael Hossack maybe looking to make a pass on him soon. And just behind them, you got Harrison Talon, who's down 10 spots and continuing to fall.
Yeah, I was told some guys that we need to watch tonight that looked pretty good were Matthew Weeks and David Tooker.
Yeah, so Matthew Weeks currently down 4 spots to 14th. I think he might be trying to save his tires a little bit. Chris, that's something you will often see out of Matthew Weeks, out of Trey Holmes, David Tooker as well. These guys will fall back a little bit to try to save their tires. But one guy I'm genuinely concerned about is in this picture right here. That's Harrison Talon. He just continues to drop through the field. Already down 13 spots, about to get impacted in the rear by Andrew Rucker there. Just continue his descent through the field, which is not good at this point because he will need to work his way back up. But up at the lead, Tyler Fody just continuing to put on a show here.
And that 44 machine is looking really good this week with lots of paint on it and the 6 right behind it.
Yeah, taking a look there. Michael Goodman and Zach Evans, the one Do-Good car, one Wally racing machine. These guys both looking very sporty here tonight. That beautiful pink paint scheme on those guys. Chad also having a bit of pink there around his number. That looks really nice on that machine. I think that's definitely something he should consider taking on full time, as you see Kwame Scott here side by side with Gerald Campbell.
They almost come together as Gerald turns down on the corner exit. Kwame tries to drift up just a little bit. But I think what we're seeing here is Kwame was a guy who kind of didn't try to move forward, just did enough to hold his ground as best he could, and he might have saved his tires a little better than Gerald right here. Gerald might be starting to struggle.
Yeah, that's definitely something we will have to keep an eye on as we look at a couple guys throughout the field here. Another guy kind of falling backwards here, you mentioned him earlier, is Brandon Ultra. He's down to 16th, battling side by side with Bicanado. They almost make contact as well.
Yeah, it's a beautiful scheme there for him, and man, it'd be great if he could get that thing for victory lane one time before the season is out and we're running out of races like we've talked about. Just a few races left here before the playoffs.
Absolutely, just 3 regular season races to go, including this one here tonight. So this regular season is winding down, and it'll go by quick. I mean, we only have a couple weeks left before playoffs get going, and intensity's gonna pick up here. See Josh Robin falling a little further in the field as well, just getting passed by Garrison Hogan. They're 3 wide now. Robin up through the middle.
Yeah, Josh Robin, fresh off the farm, right? Been doing some potato harvesting.
Is that what he's been doing?
I believe so.
Potatoes. He's gonna make us some chips. As we take a look again, Harrison Talon down 20 spots, continuing to fall here. Justin Vandermeer just behind him. Dave Carpenter, Mark Rabilas, and Yari Brupacker rounding out the field here. But Tyler Fody continuing. Tyler seems to like this 0.3 of a second lead. You know, we've seen it every opportunity he leads. He's just 0.3 up every time.
Yeah, Tyler is one of the guys that's really good about running just in front of you. Like, he can run a pace that will be just enough to stay in front of you, and you're working really hard to stay there, and the next thing you know, you burn your stuff up, and he's still got more.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, that's something that we definitely do like seeing about Tyler. He doesn't race you too aggressive. He races you just hard enough to maintain his lead and get the lead if he needs to. And that's something that you definitely have to respect about the guy. He's pretty smart and very respectful as well. As you see this battle here, Zach Evans, Andrew Rucker for the 27th position here. Michael Goodman now coming into the picture just ahead of them for 26th. As these guys are putting on a bit of a show in the back of the field.
Yeah, it looks like. Are people gravitating towards the bottom as these tires wear? I think that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a real possibility here. Guys are picking different spots in the field. There's some nice two wide battles all throughout here. As you see Connor Jones, David Tooker battling for the 15th spot here. These two side by side. Those are two beautiful machines, Chris.
Yeah, and Tooker was somebody that was told, hey, that's going to be a guy that's really fast tonight.
Yeah,
and I think what we're
absolutely.
seeing is guys that have committed to the bottom. They still have some good, turn to the center. So I think we're going to see the guys that are handling bad walk to the wall here. And the guys that are still really good are just going to start running the bottom, being able to pass guys.
Yeah, you're going to see the differing strategies as we go on throughout the evening here. As now you see Josh Adams chasing down Jesse Rasmus for position number 7. Rasmus had a big moment early on in this one with Josh Adams getting into each other there and causing a bit of damage, but both of them able to continue on here and run in the top 10. You can see that front end damage on Adams' car and the rear end damage here on the 70 machine of Rasmus. Doesn't seem to be impacting them so far, but you never know as the night goes
we're
on.
going to have some contact. The 19, the 45 back here in 3 and 4.
3 wide here.
Oh, and Tooker's not happy with what just happened there in 3 and 4.
Yeah, we can go ahead and back that up, Chris. You mentioned there was a bit of contact here. We'll rewind this one. As you take a look, David Tooker here on the high side here behind Connor Jones. Come down to see the 45 machine Ultra up into David Tooker.
Yeah, and just to be clear, Tooker is not mad at the 45. He's mad at the 34 for holding everybody up.
Yeah, most definitely. You can see that there. It looked like the 45 a little slower than what they were anticipating heading into that corner. And that'll heavily impact the momentum that we saw out of that 19 machine, as well as that 45, as the 45's falling back and the 19's still kind of stuck in place. Yeah, good call out there, Chris. It's gonna come up right in front of him. You gotta, yeah, there you go. A little bit of a bump there from the 34.
I don't know if I'd be doing that to David Tooker.
I would not as well. As you see Vincent Isabella almost getting to the side of the 34 there. 34 doesn't seem to be making some friends right now, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, Tooker took good care of him. Even when Tooker got mad, he didn't just run into the guy, and the guy ran into him because he got mad at it. Like, it's one of those things where...
Absolutely. What he's got to be careful with now is that guy behind him right here in this yellow machine. I don't know if he'll be as careful if that 34 gets him angry. I don't know if he'll cut him as many breaks as David Tooker did there.
One thing that would frustrate me as the guy that's trying to pass him is he goes in and he runs the top. That 34, he's struggling.
And then he's cutting down a little bit there, yeah.
Yeah, he's driving very defensive. And if you're going to drive defensive, you might find out real quick that you're going to get yourself.
Yeah, the one thing I definitely want to watch here is if things continue the way they are here, we may see caution number 1 come from this group of cars right here. As you see Vincent Isabella now not with much space between those two machines, as Vincent looking to make a pass with help from Ethan Burrell right behind him. Both of these guys know how to get it done here. Connor Jones is a ARCA driver from the real life ARCA series. It looks like he was about to make contact there with Vincent Isabella.
Yeah, Vincent isn't going to sit down there too long and deal with this. I know Vincent, he is eventually going to say, and there it is, the pass is made. Probably a wise move. Another set of corners, there might have been a little bit more contact.
Absolutely. You know, we've both had the pleasure of racing with Vincent Isabella for a long time. He's one of the first guys I've raced with in this group of cars here. Back when we raced in a previous league, and I've always had a good time racing with Vincent, but you know that he's one guy that you don't want to get on his bad side.
Yeah, and what Connor needs to do here is realize that he has put himself in a tough spot. He abused his tires. And if you start pinning these guys and racing these guys and then hitting them when they pass you because they're frustrated how defensive you're driving, you don't need to get yourself wrecked. Just give these spots up. We saw with Shieldhouse last week. I mean, Shieldhouse last week fell back to 25th. He had used his tires up. He was struggling, and he just said, okay, let's try to make this work next time I get tires in the car. And he ended up finishing in the top 5. So just got to be smart here. Don't want to get yourself wrecked here if you're Connor Jones.
One thing, actually, speaking of David Shieldhouse, the past couple of weeks we've had the pleasure of having 2 Davids in a row. It was first week was Shieldhouse and Westergreen. Last week we had Tooker and Shieldhouse finishing together. This week we're short a few Davids. The only 2 Davids we have in the field are David Tooker here running in the 15th position and Dave Carpenter back in 34th. So we're gonna need David Carpenter to work his way towards the front if we want to keep that trend going this week.
Connor Jones is going to lose some more spots here.
Yeah, Connor Jones back in a bit of a hornet's nest of cars here. Guys that are going to want to get by him pretty quickly. Thomas Sherman, Brandon Ultra, Ethan Stanley all right there. Things might get a little closer with Ultra. Ultra, another one that I believe has worn through the good of his tires. He's fallen back quite a bit here in the early runnings of this thing. And now Ethan Stanley getting to that rear bumper of the 34 machine of Jones. But yeah, things are getting a little hairy back there around that Connor Jones machine as he continues to fall through the field. Back to 21st now under pressure from Trey Holmes in the 88 machine. Things got a little close there. I never would have thought our most exciting battle on track would be back for the 22nd position. No, Trey definitely not too happy there. Is that Trey Holmes 88 machine. Mike Canadal behind them too. He's not going to be too patient with this. Wyatt's going to the high side.
There's a lot of bumps up there. Wyatt just ran through them.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a really hard corner here at this track. As Wyatt now going to fall back to 25th. Getting past by Andrew Rucker. Things are not easy here at the Iowa Speedway.
Johnny Thomas gets around Connor. And Connor's going to... Now see, that is... Why would you do that if you're Connor Jones? That doesn't make sense to me.
Now Connor Jones going back up to the high side. Wyatt Canadal, Andrew Rucker. These next 2 are going to want to get by him rather quickly. Connor Jones now coming down to the bottom. Wyatt Canadal looks like he's going to give him a bump. So Connor Jones not making too many friends out here right now, Chris.
Yeah, you just got to let these guys go and hope you can catch a caution or maybe short pit. Turn this thing into a 2-stopper.
Absolutely, and that guy right behind him here, he won't have too much patience for this either. That's Andrew Rucker in the 64, and now Jones going to the bottom of Canadal. So
yeah, I just don't understand why when somebody passes you, it's like you're diving back underneath them. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
All that's going to do, Chris, is wear his stuff out more and more. You know, this is a race that's showing that it's going to be a long run. We're already 42, 43 laps into this thing just about, and we haven't had a yellow yet. And gotta hang on to your stuff. You gotta save it a little bit. He's gonna be 3 wide here. Goodman on the bottom and Robin on the top. Let's go up to our blimp here. Things got a little close there. They're gonna make contact. Let's go back up to the next battle here. Scott Crump now chasing down Blaze Brinkley for the 2nd position. Crump in that number 90 Stay Tuned Esports Toyota chasing down Brinkley and his Mustang there. Brinkley, I think, has worn through his tires as well. As you can see, Crump making that move on the inside to get by Brinkley for 2nd here.
Yeah, it wasn't
going to be rather easy.
That he was just running right behind Fody, just like 2-3 tenths, and then, like we said, Fody's got more left, and Blaze used his stuff up.
And look what Blaze just did. He did exactly what you were mentioning with Connor Jones. Crump makes the pass, Brinkley goes to the bottom.
I don't understand that. You know, like, it's one thing if you do that at like 10 to go, where you're trying to hold up every spot you can. I don't understand why with 105 laps to go, this guy's ran you down from way back. Why are you looking back underneath him? Like, all that's going to do is kill that corner for you. You're not going to get back by the guy.
No, absolutely. It's just interesting to see the different driving styles of these guys. You got Latham Joyner back here in fourth. Latham just really out for a stroll right now. He's in fourth. He's got almost a second ahead of him, more than a second behind him to Tyler Pop in the top five. So RC's running down Tyler Pop here, but Latham Joyner just having a good time.
Latham's been a guy with a lot of speed, but we just haven't seen him get the results that he wants.
Absolutely. It's all about the long game in this series, Chris, and it's nice to see a long green flag run. These guys have deserved a race with a long run for a change. You see Andrew Rucker falling back a little bit here. That was very close with Garrison Hogan there. They just about made contact. Garrison slides up in front of him as he has Josh Robin and Jonathan Cutlip here with him. Cutlip, for you fans at home, he's new to this series, but he is not new to Elite. He raced with these guys back on the console days, and he actually substituted for me last Wednesday night in my number 2 Roasted Gem Chevrolet in the Cup Series for 21 Savage Autosport. He did a nice job up in the 5th position, so that was an upgrade over the regular driver there, and he's in 26th right now. His number 35 car, just out for a cruise, get used to the series and see what he can do. But Andrew Rucker, another one, continuing to fall through the field.
Yeah, and Rucker's being very smart. I just heard him, wave a guy by. It's very interesting here. We're seeing this long run. Like I talked about this at the top of the show, this is a place where we will get I have no fear. Once we get one caution, we'll get 6. I promise. But this is a place where we see, you usually have one green flag run and one green flag stop in this race at some point.
Absolutely, as we see Tyler Pop get almost a little bit sideways there on the outside of RC Anderson. That was nearly caution number 1 there. Had he not grabbed onto that thing, RC Anderson now up into the top 5 here, just ahead of Tyler Pop. Pop has been very strong this season. Another guy that just has not had the results as pit stops have begun here. Gerald Campbell, our first taker down pit road. That is a very early stop here, Chris.
We are not in the window to make it to the end at
We
this
are
point.
absolutely not. We're about 10 laps away from being able to possibly make it, but it is very early for Gerald to come down here. I do wonder, potentially he's just going to split it into a 2-stop race, but I don't think that's going to work out if we go long here.
Yeah, he's hoping for a caution on the other side of pit stops. That's what he's hoping for. But yeah, that's 10 more laps and you can make it on one stop. It's...
Absolutely. It was a good stop for Gerald, 14.5 seconds, as he's going to rejoin the field, but Gerald's going to be a lap down here.
Yeah, I think we'll see. We'll see how it works. If
One
he
thing,
gets the caution, he's going to look really smart.
One
If
thing
he
to
doesn't-
point out, though, Chris, is we do have Tyler Fody right here, and if I just take a quick glance at Mark Rubilis, he's right there. We're about to hit lap traffic. Things are about to get interesting.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I don't like that pit call out of Gerald. I would have waited at least 10 more to pit. Like, if I'm going to short pit him, I'm going to short pit him at 90 to go. Because I don't think anybody's pitting at 90 to go.
Coming down pit road now, Josh Smith. He was the last car on the lead lap, so he's going to bring his car down pit road, the number 80 machine. That's another one coming down, but I don't know. I definitely question the early pit call.
Yeah, like I said, though, they catch a caution, they're looking great. They don't, oh, it's going to be rough.
Yeah, and just the way the racing has gone, I mean, there's been a lot of give and take as we see Latham Joyner getting by Blaze Brinkley here. Joyner going to work his way up. Another thing I just want to quickly point out, Connor Jones now back in 33rd position. He is just continuing to fall. He was just passed by Harrison Talon in the 51 machine. And right behind him now, Justin Vandermeer in that number 54. Vandermeer is going to look to make a pass on him shortly, but...
and then right there's the leader too, right?
There's
right
Mark... Yeah, look at this. This is Mark Rubilis. He's last car on the lead lap. Right there, Tyler Fody. So, Connor Jones about to go a lap down.
Yeah, we'll see how this works out. I mean, we are...
Someone's yelling car high.
Yeah, it sounds like there was contact between Connor and somebody there. Based on the first 55 laps of this race, I am not surprised. that Connor made contact with another car.
Absolutely. It did sound like Harrison Talon yelling there. I'm not sure if that was, as we do see Tyler Fody, our leader,
I
going
think it
by
was
Mark Morales.
Vandermeer, I believe is who it was.
That is definitely possible. My fellow Canadian and Cup teammate Justin Vandermeer there. I just want to point out Josh Smith. We just saw him go down pit road not long ago. He had a 1 minute pit time there. So that was a long stay. I'm not sure if he sped or...
Hey, it depends on how you look at it. He might have been the only pit crewman down there. He had to change all 4 tires and fill the car up with gas.
Absolutely low budget pit stop there, as we see Tyler Fody coming up on the rear of Justin Vandermeer there. Josh Robin coming down pit road here. So that is another pit stop getting underway here. Tyler Fody coming into lap traffic here. I wonder if he's going to have an easy time getting by Connor Jones here. Nobody else has, but maybe Fody will.
Tell you what, if Fody knew what was going on with that machine, he probably wouldn't have went to his outside.
Yeah, absolutely. Got Crump right here as well.
Crump's came from a long way back here.
Crump gained over half a second here. He's coming.
Yeah, I mean, Crump has drove Fody down from a long way. Is Fody saving something? Or is Fody out of tires? We'll find out here very quickly.
You know, one thing I do want to point out, Scott Crump, when his blinking is not...
Oh, there's contact down here. It's the 70. Something happened to the 70 in turn 1.
Take a look there, Jesse Massimus.
Oh, it was Chad Frankenfield.
Yeah, he did have contact with Chad Frankenfield. Let's take a look here on the Whiskeycast replay. Happened here.
I believe it's on down in turn 1. This is turn 3. Yeah, there's a car coming on tires.
That's the 80 Josh Smith.
But I mean, he's going to get clear of Chad here, right there. Chad just missed the corner, get up into the 70 there.
That's exactly what happened. Nice save by Jesse Rasmus, though. Jesse actually didn't lose too much. Looks like he only lost about 2 spots there, but gonna be a little mad here. Okay, Scott Crump, new leader. Tyler Fody, new leader.
This is what we call some slide jobs right here.
That was interesting. This is gonna get good here. I do wonder if they're gonna wear their stuff out a little bit more. I mean, they do have almost a 3-second lead over Latham Joyner here, so they have a little bit to work with. Things are getting close here, though. Crump will lead this lap. These guys are just going to continue to battle. What a battle these guys are putting on here. On lap 65 of 150 already, Chris. Put the blimp cam here. Watch Scott Crump doing his thing. Tyler Fody so strong, Chris.
Yeah, Fody holds him off.
Fody's going to clear him, but you know Crump's going to try that again. And he does right now.
Yeah.
Scott Crump to the inside. We'll hop back
up
here.
Almost contact. Wow.
Yeah, that was really close. These guys are racing really hard. Oh, they make contact. Tyler Fody around. Fody. Nice catch.
Fody with a save. Wow.
I want to show that one again. I actually want to go on board with Tyler Fody here. Take a look at his hands. About to have the incident here. Maybe, yeah, there it is. If Fody, he's working that wheel trying to save that thing.
Full to the right there. Full turn to the right.
What a job by Tyler Fody, though. Now, Chris, you are monitoring our in-game audio. Was there any sort of communication between the 90 and the 40 after that?
There was a little bit, but I don't think there was anything malicious.
Absolutely, just some hard racing there. Just an update. We did see Michael Hossack and Josh Robin go down pit road there. Hossack did leave pit road. Robin remains on pit road. He may be out of the race at this point, actually, as he continues to fall laps down.
Now, there is something going on in the server right now. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. I missed it. So I don't know what's going on in here, but it has nothing to do with our two leaders.
What are you hearing there, Chris?
Well, I'm not hearing nothing. I don't want to call anybody out for being disabled if they're getting their chat disabled, but there is someone's chat's disabled, and I don't know why. I did not catch it.
Somebody's chat was disabled?
Yes. And it had nothing to do with the contact we saw with the leaders.
Is the person in this image right here?
No.
Wow.
No, he's not.
Okay. Whoa. What a moment for Vincent there. These are our usual suspects when it comes to chat mutes, so I just assumed it might have been one of these two, but definitely interesting to hear that. Ooh. That was contact with Connor Jones. Some lead lap cars there. Not sure if you saw that, Chris.
Yeah, I saw. Like, that was nuts. I don't know.
I can hear Josh Adams. Let's take a look, see what's going on with him. Josh doing a nice job there after his early damage there in the 8th position. That shows his strength as a driver. I mean, he's got some damage. That thing definitely can't be 100%. I can see through his hood. And he goes into these corners, and he's still doing a nice job.
Yeah, he was looking for some information on his damage, and I said, I don't really know, you know? So, I mean, he's driving. He's got a better idea than me. He doesn't know if he abused his stuff a little bit or if it's just...
As you see his nose here, that thing's not looking very nice. You can see into his engine bay. It looks a little...
That splitter, that's what we
skewed.
call on here, for people who are
That's
not
wavy.
familiar with the lingo. We call that the bacon splitter.
Taking a look here, that's really tight between Kwame Scott and Blaze Brinkley here for the 6th position. Those guys almost made some contact.
Yeah, I think Blaze has really abused his stuff.
Yeah, Blaze was up in the 2nd position not too long ago. I do want to point out R.C. Anderson now just to the rear of Tyler Fody. That battle's on for 2nd. Of course, Fody just had that earlier incident there with Scott Crump. I just want to point out Tyler Pop coming down pit road as well as Mark Rabilis there. Pop was inside the top 10 at the time of that pit stop. Johnny Thomas also coming down pit road there from the mid-pack. So pit stops underway. We are approaching that fuel window here, Chris.
Apparently there's been some contact between Kwame and Blaze.
I would definitely say so. These guys got split up here. Kwame now on the outside of Michael Hossack. Blaze now battling side by side with Josh Adams here for position number 7.
Yeah, Blaze, after the contact with Kwame, looks like he's giving Josh quite a bit of room.
Absolutely. I think he's just going to fall back a little bit there as RC and Tyler Fody continue to battle here for position number 2. RC has a little bit of an edge on the inside, but Fody's really strong on that outside there. Just to point out another pit stop here, Brandon Ultra coming down.
Yeah, and these guys can run another 10 to 15 laps depending on how you've worked the throttle and the brake.
Absolutely. Really just depends what they do here. As you can see, Josh Adams did get by Blaze Brinkley, so Adams up to 7th. Brinkley now falling back. That is Johnny Thomas there. He's on new tires. He is 1 lap down currently from his pit stop, so this is not for position, but more Johnny Thomas working his way up, trying to get his lap back.
You actually, there's 2 laps. Johnny's actually 2 down.
He is 2 down. Blaze coming down. Blaze is on pit road here in the 98. You are correct, Johnny Thomas 2 laps down. That's a big drop when you pit, though.
Yeah, but we're close enough now to the window, and you're making it without pitting
Oh,
again.
absolutely. I mean, we are approaching that time when everyone will come down pit road if they haven't already. Just taking a quick look, the top guy to have pit is Gerald Campbell. He is 1
But
lap
he's not
down.
making it on 1 stop. He pitted 30 laps ago now.
Yeah, Gerald did pit on lap 50. So really the top car of that group would be Tyler Pop. He pit lap 75, so 6 laps ago. We just saw Scott Crump make a pass for, not for position, but to put David Carpenter up down. Latham Joyner now
And
coming down
what's
pit
really
road.
going to hurt Gerald is if he is splitting this race up into thirds, he's going to be pitting again in 20 laps, and these guys are making their first pit stop here in the next 10.
Absolutely. Like I mentioned, Latham Joyner has just come down pit road, as well as Trey Holmes. Connor Jones came down pit road as well. I believe that might have been his second pit stop, though. So he may have gotten a penalty on exit. Jake Kaner now coming down pit road. So pit stop's definitely underway here, Chris.
Yeah, now we might see somebody get ran over in this scenario, as you've got guys on fresh tires, guys on old tires, and guys somewhere in the middle, like what we have with Gerald now.
Absolutely, and I can point out, I do believe Connor Jones did get a penalty. His pit time was 50 seconds. 5-0.
Oh, we got contact off a Ford. No caution as of yet.
Ethan Stanley has gone into the infield. Let's take a look at what happened to him on our Whiskey Cast replay. Blaze Brinkley contact. Let's back that up just a little bit further. As you can see, Chris, you actually just called that out. You said new versus old tires here. And that's exactly, I believe, what happened there, Blaze. Oh, Jonathan Cutlip gets it too.
Blaze gets into him, and then Blaze says, I'm going to run a lane and a half off the wall. Yeah, that, as a guy on new tires, you got to take care of some of those guys a little better, because you do not want to caution. If you've already pitted, you don't want to caution.
Yeah, and all that does is that angers other people as well. Just to point out, Matthew Weeks has entered pit road as well. He is coming down from that top 10. Wyatt Canadle coming down as well. Pit stops continuing here at Iowa. Scott Crump is now in a bunch of lap traffic with Johnny Thomas and Michael Hossack just ahead of him. And don't look now, but right now, R.C. Anderson is quickly catching our leader. Just to point out, Thomas Sherman, Andrew Rucker, those guys coming down pit road as well. Here comes Scott Crump. He's
RC,
coming down.
Look at RC.
RC's coming down.
Look
Tate Lytle's the leader.
Cody's going to come from 4 seconds back to be right on their bumper.
That could be the move of the race right there, actually, Chris. What he did right there, Tyler Fody, but Tate Lytle now the race leader with Kwame Scott, Josh Adams, David Tooker, Chad Frankenfield, top 5. Ethan Burrell, Garrison Hogan, Jesse Rasmus up into the top 8. Dustin Doerr now and Michael Goodman joining the top 10. Tate Lytle coming down, Kwame Scott the new race leader. We're going to continue to cycle through pit stops here. Lap 89 of 150. Jesse Rasmus coming down. Cody and Crump still on pit road here. Continue to watch to see who comes off first. Crump, RC, Tyler Fody. Slow stop for Fody. That was definitely a slow stop for Tyler Fody. Vincent Isabella also comes down, as well as Jonathan Cutlip and Ethan Stanley. Top 5 now, Kwame Scott, Josh Adams, David Tooker, Ethan Burrell, and Chad Frankenfield. Dustin Doerr, Michael Goodman, Zach Evans, and Harrison Talon. Top 10. Actually, Dave Carpenter up in the top 10 as well. Kwame Scott now coming down pit road. That should hand the lead over to Josh Adams as David Tooker. Chad Frankenfield also coming down pit road.
And this point right here for Josh Adams is big for the cut line.
Absolutely, as Josh Adams was close to that cut line, I do believe. Yeah, he was 20 points down, so every point Adams can get to work his way up is crucial. As you see those lead lap cars passing there, Josh Adams now coming down. That should, Ethan Burrell's going to pit. This will hand over the lead in the JD's Hilltop Salvage 150 to Dustin Doerr. So a Doerr-sponsored race now led by a Doerr as Dustin takes the lead. Michael Goodman, second. Zach Evans, third. Harrison Talon there in fourth. And then we're going to start getting back to guys that have pit. Gerald Campbell, Latham Joyner, Blaze Brinkley, Tyler Pop, Tate
And
Lytle, and Scott
Vincent
Crump.
Isabella, he got a penalty here on pit stops. Just to throw that out there.
Yeah, Vincent Isabella all the way back to 34th. I believe he's actually 3 laps down at this point. He is 2 laps down, so that's a huge hit for Vincent. Look at this gaggle here. We're going to actually go blimp cam because there's so much going on right now around Dustin Dewar, our current race leader. Harrison Hogan goes by. Here comes Chad Frankenfield. That's David Tooker looking to the middle. Michael Goodman has pit from second. Here's Josh Adams and Johnny Thomas right here. Going to go 3 wide. Adams gets through. We're falling back. Things are getting crazy here. Our leader should cycle through very shortly to be Latham Joyner once we see Dustin Dewar and our second place car Harrison Talon come down pit road. 3 wide right here once again. That got really tight with Jesse Rasmus and Ethan Burrell. Brandon Ultra now chasing down the 32 machine of Dustin Dewar. I believe. Oh, Dewar's gonna come down now. Should hand the lead over.
He went a long way on fuel.
Yeah, Dustin Dewar pits lap 95 of this thing. Harrison Talon, probably for the first time in his career, is your new race leader with Latham Joyner in second. So Latham should cycle through to the lead momentarily. And of that second group of cars that we've been watching all night, Scott Crump is leading that group. But R.C. Anderson's right behind him. Tyler Pop's right in the picture as well. So current race leader Harrison Talon will stay out.
Yeah, and one thing here is we talk about going 95, 96, 97 laps. Gerald Campbell needs to go 101 laps to get to the end. So I just don't foresee that happening.
And Gerald's actually getting passed already by Scott Crump and R.C. Anderson. So he's just going to continue to fall back through the field. Because his tires are almost 50 laps old at this point, Chris. So that's not good for him. Harrison Talon has come down pit road. Latham Joyner back to the lead with Tate Lytle and Blaze Brinkley in third. Scott Crump, R.C. Anderson running at the top 5 currently. Gerald Campbell, Tyler Fody, Tyler Pop, Tommy Scott, and Jay Kaner in the top 10. So Latham Joyner leading this thing. Lap 98 of 150. And Isabella going to pass him. Vincent just getting one of his laps back. Multiple laps down now due to a pit road penalty.
We still right now have, like you said, nobody's tires are equal at this point because of the way the green flag cycle worked out. We've got some guys on really old tires, some guys that are on new tires.
Yeah, I mean, just in the top 10, we have guys that pit anywhere from lap 50 with Gerald Campbell. We got lap 75. We got early 80s. We got late 80s. We even have lap 90. So things are very different all throughout this field. As Gerald Campbell continues to fall back, I think his pit call will not work out unless we get a caution here within the next 10 to 15 laps, Chris.
Even then, a caution's not going to save his pit call. He's sitting just about outside the top 10.
Yeah, he's currently in that 9th spot, but continuing to fall. We do see a side-by-side battle here. That's for 21st between Brandon Ultra and Wyatt Knadel. Those two battling. Right behind them, Jonathan Cutlip, Ethan Stanley, Michael Hossack, Dustin Dewar. We saw him lead a few laps. He's back in 26 now. Dustin Dewar was the quickest car on the track last lap with 24.41. Dewar looking okay.
And that's the freshest tires on the track, right?
That is... Don't believe that's the freshest. No, that is not the freshest tires. Freshest tires, Harrison Talon.
Yeah, but Dewar's is fresher than everybody else's outside of his, right? Didn't Dewar go pretty long?
Dewar went to lap 95. Talon went to 97.
Yeah, so that doesn't surprise me. He will probably be a little bit faster than him by the rest of
He
the race.
should be for a bit here.
But
Tate
he
Lytle
is
now
a
to the
lap
lead.
down. He's not beating them by enough to get back into this.
No, absolutely. Tate Lytle just took the race lead here, Chris, with less than 50 laps to go.
I believe he's just placeholding it for now.
Absolutely. You gotta imagine Scott Crump and RC Anderson will work their way up there pretty quickly as they do continue to cut into that lead slowly but surely. 46 laps to go here at Iowa. No, Chris.
Lean and green so far. It's been a good race. Like you said, we got Tate out front. We got Joyner. Crump is coming. Crump will be there shortly. Oh, we got some contact here. It's the 4, the 15, the 31. They just all had it coming together off of 2 a little bit. Gerald just gets up out of the way. He is on the old. His tires are not happy with
Gerald is cooked at this
Yeah.
point. Is Josh Adams now going to look to make a pass for the 13th spot? I think they may have made a little bit of contact there.
Yeah, at this point, Gerald has nothing left for tires. I believe that would be what, on the cords? Is where Gerald's probably at this point.
I mean, considering he pit on lap 50, he's definitely not overly confident with his tires after that 50 lap mark. Scott Crump now up to P2, continuing his charge to the front here as he gets by Latham Joyner, and he is going to continue to charge towards Tate Lytle there, our current race leader. But Chris, while we're on this long green flag run, why don't you run through our premier partners once again, just in case we don't get another opportunity to touch on them?
Yeah, I mean, this is the Elite Racing Network here, live on YouTube in the Mrs. Goody's Grand National Series. Couldn't do this without. Oh, we got contact here. Oh, is that going to be a spin? It is. Josh Smith. I believe there was contact with the 98 Blaze Breaker.
There definitely was, so we jinxed it there. First caution lap, 109. Let's take a look on the Whiskey Cast replay, see what happened, and then we'll get back to our premier partners. Taking a look at Josh Smith in the 80 machine. As you can see, he's up on the outside. Is this going to be another contact by Blaze Brinkley? Yes, it is. So yeah, Brinkley just gets into the side of Josh Smith. Smith will heavily impact the wall. Slide down. Does anybody get him here? I don't think so. No. That just another case of Blaze Brinkley running through somebody for the second or third time tonight. So that's definitely not a good look there for that number 98 machine. Chris, I do think we'll see pretty much everyone on pit road here. I can guarantee that we'll see Gerald Campbell coming down pit road. But now that we are under caution, Chris, why don't we get back to our premier partners here and give them some thanks for what they do for us here at the Elite Racing Network.
Yeah, this is the Elite Racing Network live on YouTube, coming at you live from Iowa here in the Elite B season, Mrs. Goody's B season. Couldn't do this without all the people here at Elite Racing. Yourself, Robert, Dave, Chad. You know, he runs a league every night, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sundays, twice on Sundays. Like, there's something going on all the time for Elite. But we couldn't do this without all of our wonderful sponsors, everybody at Mrs. Goody's Goodies. They have hooded towels and handmade items for babies, kids, you, and your home, and you can look them up on Facebook today. Everybody at TA Services, for over 36 years, they have been a trusted domestic and international full-service third-party logistics provider offering freight brokerage, managed transportation, warehousing, fulfillment, and cross-border logistics service to shippers around the globe. Everybody at Blue Egg Marketing, they help businesses punch above their weight class. And everybody at Brixi Cam, they are a venture-backed tech company based in Toronto and Boston, and they are on a mission to reimagine the group photo experience. And then, of course, our race sponsor tonight is JD's Hilltop Salvage. James Dewar is a Goodrich scrap metal authority. with over 50 years of experience in ever-changing industry. JD is the guy you want to call to get rid of your old junk, from washing machines that no longer work to decommissioned Boeing 747s, and they are set on top of the beautiful Goodrich Hill, and they are your go-to place with no job being too big or too small.
Absolutely. We definitely could not do it without those great partners here. They do keep the lights on, as well as our drivers here. They definitely play a big part in this as well. But thank you to everyone that puts this on here as we do take a quick run through the field. We see where your favorite driver is running currently. A couple guys having some up and down nights so far, but Chris, that was the best opening run we've definitely seen all season long. As you do see a couple guys ahead of the leader here, going to take a wave around to get one of their laps back. So hopefully that'll benefit your favorite driver and put them back up on the lead lap with us. Back up at the front, your race leader is Tate Lytle in the number 2 machine. Latham Joyner in the 03 right there with him as well. Scott Crump, RC Anderson, Tyler Fody, top 5. These guys all doing a really nice job. Biggest mover so far, Garrison Hogan up 30 spots. And biggest drop through the field is actually a 3-way tie. Vincent Isabella down 20 spots after his early penalty on pit road. Connor Jones down 20. And Josh Smith down 20. He may lose another one. He's on pit road. A couple other notable movers in this race. As we take a look, Johnny Thomas up 15 spots. Jonathan Cutlip up 13 in his debut here. Ethan Burrell, David Tooker both up 14. As I mentioned, Tate Lytle is the race leader. His lights are off on the pace car.
Tate Lytle has picked the top here.
Yeah, Tate has taken the top here, Chris, as you mentioned. I think it's confidence with that guy behind him, but also having the ability to really control entering turn number 1. He can get a bit more of a run into the turn rather than having to check up a little early with the bottom.
Yeah, we will see. And the top is where you wanted to be on the short run tonight anyway.
Pace car's off.
Yeah, we get into the restart zone. Tate is gone. Great jump for him. Kind of a jam up back there in the top and the bottom. Not a clean restart here.
As you do see RC up into second. RC's going to maybe think about looking at Tate here, but Tate gets clear of him here. Latham Joyner there in third. Scott Crump, Kwame Scott up past Cody for fifth. Things are a little hectic. Watch Tyler Pop here, 13 machine. He's going to fall back.
Harold's turning down the middle. Josh was running the middle. Almost had a coming together there.
They just about did on exit as well. Things got a little hairy there. Up here with Garrison Hogan, Tyler Fody, Chad Frankenfield. Things are getting a little hectic as well. So we got action all around this racetrack. Tate Lytle currently leads. RC Anderson, Latham Joyner. Those two are going to battle for second here as well. Just a little bit further back, Matthew Weeks made a pass on Gerald Campbell. Josh Adams up on the high side here with Ethan Burrell now looking on the bottom. Go back up to that blink cam. Just about contact with Pop and Brinkley there.
Yeah, and one thing we didn't hit on is how much that caution helped Tate Lytle.
Absolutely.
If that would have went 5 more laps, Tate would have been running third or fourth. But instead, it didn't.
Yeah, absolutely. Tate definitely would have fallen back there if the caution had come out. You see RC and Latham Joyner both working the high side there, seeing if they can get a little bit of a run on Tate Lytle. Doing a nice job. Latham looking to the high side of RC, couldn't get the run there. He'll settle back. Now he's going to go to the inside here and look at making a pass on the inside of RC Anderson. And he's actually going to work his way up to the inside just about of Tate Lytle. But that oversend there allows RC to battle back, so Latham trying things. I don't think it's working.
Yeah, and if I'm Scott Crump, I'm kind of worried here. I don't know if this run is going to be long enough. It took him, what, 60 laps to get to the leader there? And
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell
roughly.
you right now, if Scott could see what was going on back here, he would know we're probably not we've not seen the last yellow.
Most likely not, Chris. It's definitely possible, but I don't believe so. Let's see
We
these
got the
guys
98,
battling here.
the 98's making more contact with the 19 here.
And they a little bit of earlier issues, if I do remember correctly. I may be wrong there, but these two are definitely getting close.
Well, I think the 98's front bumper has been to the back bumper of some other guys through this race, not just the 19s.
Oh, it's definitely been to the back bumper of many cars. Uh, at this point, those guys definitely working it hard here. Tate Lytle running the high side there, trying to stop the run of RC Anderson. Anderson remains in second with Latham Joyner there in third. Scott Crump in fourth under fire from Kwame Scott. Then we have Tyler.
I'm kind of surprised about that car right there. I mean, it just cut to Tyler Fode. What happened?
Yeah.
He was the top 2 or 3 car. We get the caution, get the reset.
You know, the thing we've seen, Chris, a few times this season is Cody will be really strong early, and then when it comes to the later portion of the race, it's almost like he's lost a little bit.
Oh, he's getting ready to lose a lot.
There he goes again.
He's gonna. Oh, is he gonna keep it out of the wall? He is, and he's. Wow.
Wow. Stay there, Tyler. Stay there. Wow.
Garrison just gets up into him.
Let's take a look on the Whiskey Caps replay. We saw it live, but we'll take a look again. That's a heartbreaker for Tyler Fode. Take a look. Garrison Hogan dives to the inside into the corner. Slides right up into the side of that 40 of Tyler Fode. Fode goes around. This time he'll fully go around, unlike his earlier contact. Crump. Does he hit anything though, Chris? Does he even grab the wall at all? He does not. Hell of a drive by Tyler Fode right there, and nobody gets into him. So that's almost more surprising, if you ask me, as we do see a handful of cars coming down pit road here. Chad Frankenfield will be the first car down. Joe Campbell, Josh Adams comes down. Tyler Popp. A couple other guys running towards the front also came down here, but now that makes your top 10 with 25 to go. Tate Lytle, RC Anderson, Latham Joyner, Scott Crump, Kwame Scott. Top 5 stays the same. Harrison Hogan now to 6th. Matthew Weeks, Blaze Brinkley, David Tooker, and Ethan Burrell, the top 10. And the only 3 other cars that did remain out here, Jay Kaner, 4 cars, sorry, Jay Kaner, Ethan Stanley, Dustin Dewar, and actually Brandon Ultra did pit, but he's up to 14th now. So things changing just a little bit there. Yari Brupacher, as you saw, getting the wave around.
Yeah, I think if you're one of the leaders, your bed was just made. Because if you pit now, if you run 5 or 10 laps and then you think you're going to pit, you're going to restart outside the top 10. I don't think you can win pitting now after that. So I actually believe someone who just pitted is probably going to win this race based on tire wear.
Absolutely. I mean, that's definitely possible. We're going to have to keep an eye on those guys such as Chad Frankenfield, Gerald Campbell, Josh Adams, your race pick. He did just pit. He's in 17th, so they're going to have their work cut out for them. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see how these guys on the old tires fare compared to those on the fresher rubber here, as we will go green probably around 21, 22 laps to go at Iowa in the JD's Hilltop Salvage 150. Caution number 2 in this event has come out. It was Tyler Fode after contact with Garrison Hogan. No further contact, which is great, but Fode will restart in the 28th position. definitely want to keep an eye on Tyler Fody as well, Chris, because do I think he can get back up to the lead? Of course, anything is possible. I think chances are slim of that. But I think it's going to be interesting to see how he works his way through this field, trying to work his way back up towards the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, he's very lucky that he didn't get hit or didn't hit harder than what he did right there.
Definitely.
But it's a tough deal, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely disappointing if you are Tyler Fody there, having to deal with that, basically getting run over twice in this event. Of course, neither was intentional as far as we know. I don't believe it was, but definitely unfortunate for Tyler Fody to have to work his way back up through the field and try to get a decent finish out of this thing. Of course, Tyler, I do believe, is well to the good in the points, 93 points. But with 3 races remaining, if you have 3 races where you have incidents that are rough like this, that 93 points can go away relatively quickly. So we're gonna.
It could, but I'm not worried.
I'm definitely not worried if I'm Tyler Fody, but
I bet he still gets top 20, top 15.
for sure, Tyler's very strong. It's just it's disappointing for sure if you got to work your way back up. We see lights off on the pace car here. Okay, Lytle going to take the inside now with RC on the outside. Then it's Latham Joyner, Scott Crump there, Bobby Scott, Garrison Hogan, Matthew Weeks, Blaze Brinkley, the first 4 rows as the pace car is about to make that turn on to pit road here and get us going once again.
Yep, Tate's going to get into the restart zone, gets a great launch. Inside lane really gets a good takeoff.
Absolutely, as we watch these guys here. Bobby Scott got a nice jump there in that 3rd row. He's going to move up to 4th here, but Scott Crump's going to battle back on the outside. Is Tate going to have a little bit of a lead here, but Latham Joyner going to battle with RC Anderson. Things are getting close.
Oh, contact.
Oh, contact. What a save by RC.
Oh, we're 4 wide back here with Chad Frankenfield. Oh, it's back to 3.
Oh, we're wrecking. We're wrecking big. Wrecking big. Caution's
34,
out.
64. Josh Adams might have got a piece of that.
Take a look on the Whiskey Cast replay. See what happened. Of course, we saw that incident there with RC Anderson. We'll take a look at Brandon Ultra. Frankenfield comes up a little bit. Looks like Ultra might have reacted. Gets into Sherman. You watch that number 1 machine. He gets up into the outside wall. 45 comes down. Looks like Jesse Rasmus involved. Michael Goodman. 34 Connor Jones involved. Trey Holmes involved. Quite a few cars involved in this one. Take a look from Andrew Rucker as well. Same incident, just a little bit further up. And Sherman gets hooked up into the outside wall, flips back around. Little bit of contact with Josh Adams, sends Rucker up. Michael Goodman, nowhere to go. Jesse Rasmus, nowhere to go. Those guys get in it. Unfortunate incident, multiple cars involved.
We got Matthew Weeks on pit road here.
We do have Matthew Weeks with Blaze Brinkley as well on pit road.
Yeah, that was not a good call for Weeks. You either pit that caution before this or you don't pit at all. Like that's not what you want there.
Absolutely not, as we see Justin Vandermeerl here in the number 54 machine for Field Up Racing getting the wave around. He'll come back to 1 lap down. That'll put him in a battle for the Lucky Dog, I do believe, with quite a handful of cars there. Or actually, no, only with Thomas Sherman.
Connor Jones has left the server. We talked about him a lot at the start, the way he was free falling. I believe he got a penalty for a lane change on that last restart, and he ultimately decided to put it on the track.
Yeah, he also was involved a little bit in that incident there with Andrew Rucker and the others that were involved in that wreck there. So he may have gotten a little bit of damage, figured he's not going to gain anything. He's not in the points, so just called it a night. But that's definitely an early exit for that car. But Tate Lytle is still going to lead. Kwame Scott up to third here, Chris. And Kwame have something for these top two?
Thomas Sherman is also on his way back to home base in Charlotte.
Thomas Sherman on the truck, like you mentioned. All right. Harrison Hogan up into the top 5 as well. A couple guys joining further up. Ethan Stanley up to 8th. Nice job by him. Jake Kaner up there in 10th. Gerald with his weird strategy. He's in 11th with Chad Frankenfield right behind him. Josh Adams there. Thomas, Rasmus. Jonathan Cutlip doing a really nice job, up 15 spots to 16th right now. With Harrison Talon, who we saw get lapped earlier, he's in 17th on lead lap. Tyler Fody already up to 18th, so Fody doing a nice job coming back. Of course, that last incident definitely helped him jump a few spots there, but take any spot you can get.
Do you think that was our last yellow?
No. No, I definitely don't think so. I think there's some...
What would the percentages be? What would you give the percentages?
Of being another yellow?
Yes, like we talking like 40, 60?
80-20.
80-20?
80-20, Chris. 80-20.
So you believe there's an 80% chance of no yellow, right?
Oh, no. 80% chance of there being another yellow.
Honestly, I would say probably 95-5 that would get a yellow myself.
Yeah, we're definitely having another one.
110 laps green.
Yeah, we were about 110 laps. We went on that first run, which was impressive. But of course, as we've seen in this league and in pretty much every league, cautions breed cautions. It's so unfortunate that that happens, but it happens. See Tate Lytle gonna take us to the lead.
Again, we saw him pick both lanes.
Got a new challenger behind him though this time. Kwame Scott, so things might get a little bit interesting here.
We will see. These guys that got tires, they, like Chad and Gerald, they need some green flag running. Great jump for Tate. Head down into the first turn. Looks good so far. Battles for second between RC and Quan. The 15's in the wall, going into 3. Going to give up a ton of spots there.
Continuing to fall here. 3 wide now. Jesse Rasmus, Jonathan Cutlip, Chad Frankenfield. Harrison Talon now going to pass Chad Frankenfield. Or try to anyways. Tyler Fody as well.
Yeah, so now the battle between those guys that got new tires, that's Gerald and Josh Adams, right?
Absolutely. As we take a look here, third place battles on. Scott Crump, Kwame Scott.
Oh, big wreck, the 98, the 23.
Oh,
the 83 is after the 98 here, after it's over.
Well then, Chris, why don't we take a look at the Whiskey Cast replay? Let's see what happened there. As we take a look, the 98 Blaze Brinkley on the inside, Vincent Isabella, the 83 on the high side. These two side by side.
That
83 comes down into the 98 from what I'm seeing here.
There had to be a previous there was. Okay, the lap before, off of 2.
Lap before, off of 2?
Yes, full lap prior.
All right, let's back this up, guys. right there, right,
Yeah,
Chris?
so right there, right off the two there.
Taking a look, the 98 Blaze Brinkley coming to the inside. Oh, he comes in the left rear of Isabella.
Yeah, so then we get down to 3 and 4 in the race, and the 98's going to get loose. Kind of pinch up to the 83. But then Vincent right here, that's not good. Hangs a left.
Yeah, he.
The 98 comes right back at him. Okay, so that, yeah.
Wow, Justin
98
Vandermeer just misses that, and then Vincent Isabella
yeah,
says, "Yeah,
the
that's
98
enough."
has the first contact, and he's like, oh, I didn't do that on purpose. The 83 has the second contact, and then the 98 says, oh, is this what's up? And just hangs a right when they get down to 1.
Absolutely, and from what I can tell, this man right here, he is not happy. It's Vincent Isabella. Chris, what are you hearing in the server from race control? What's the call on that?
I don't think race control is thrilled with the sharp right getting down into 1. As you can probably tell right now.
Yeah.
Blaze has been he has been given access to leave the server at this point. NASCAR has taken his car behind the wall. It was already wrecked, but
Race admin Ethan Reasoner being the voice of reason here tonight, and saying there's no reason for what we just saw
can
with
we
that
get an
98.
onboard shot to look at him hang right down into turn 1?
Yeah,
I'd
absolutely.
like to see an onboard shot there. And
You know what, Chris? Just for you, I will load
it's
that
for the
up.
people. I want what the people want. Okay, I'm like the rock
You're a
admin.
man of the people. That's
That's
Yari
right.
Brewpacker. That's not who we want to see. We want to see Blaze Brinkley here. We are on board. There's the contact with Vincent Isabella right there.
Okay, so he's got it saved at this point, and then he just back to the right. Like that last back to the right was totally to get up and hit that other car.
Watch Justin Vandermeer come by this. Oof. I want to see how close that was actually for Vandermeer.
And I feel bad for the innocent cars that got caught up in that too.
Yeah, Michael Honsack. Ooh, oh, he got a piece. Vandermeer got a big piece of that actually. His car may be. Actually, he's not too bad. That surprises me a little bit. May have just got it in the rear, but we are 8 laps to go here. Tate Lytle currently leading RC Anderson, Connie Scott, Scott Crump and Latham Joyner, Harrison Hogan, Ethan Burrell, David Tooker, Ethan Stanley, Joe Campbell, the top 10. Josh Adams, Jay Kaner, Johnny Thomas, Jonathan Cutlip, and Chad Frankfield, top 15. Harrison Talon, Jesse Rasmus, Tyler Fody, Tyler Pop, Zach Evans, top 20. And then rounding out the field, we have Matthew Weeks, Dustin Doer, Wyatt Knadel, Mark Urbilas, Andrew Rucker, Yari Brewpacker, David Carpenter, Michael Goodman, Michael Hossack, Brandon Ultra, and I believe the last car running would be Justin Vandermeer. Actually, Vincent Isabella, my apologies, is still running. Like you mentioned, Blaze Brinkley's done. Looks like Trey Holmes sitting on pit road. Thomas Sherman, Connor Jones, Josh Smith, Josh Robin have all called it a day as the lights are off on the pace car. We will go green with 6 laps to go here in the JD's Hilltop Salvage 150 at Iowa Speedway.
What about now? You think we've seen the last caution?
No? What do you think, Chris?
Man, I want to say yes. We're going to run these laps green, but I'm like you. I haven't seen anything that says we're going to be able to run them green, so we shall see.
Especially how we started, it would have been great to see as we are in the Geico restart zone. Tate Lytle, he hammers that thing.
Tate just keeps getting these great jumps.
Bobby Scott got a nice little jump there as well. Up to the second spot. We ride our blimp view here, just making sure nothing else is happening. Back. We got a couple of guys getting a little close here.
The battle is still on for second.
Bobby Scott side by side with RC Anderson. Anderson on the inside, Scott on the outside. Just behind them, another battle. Scott Crump, Latham Joyner. That's for 4th position. Just behind them, Garrison Hogan, Ethan
contact.
Burrell.
Gerald Campbell's around. I believe that happened between him and Josh Adams. And
He's somewhere.
In the
There he is. Gerald's still running, just going to continue to fall back. Now, things are getting really close here. Let's go back to the blimp view because this is crazy. Zach Evans up into the wall in the back there. Campbell gets passed by Cutlip.
If we were able to run green for the next caution, we need to get a look at what just happened there a couple laps ago on the back. But we can't leave this green flag battle right now.
3 wide, Campbell on the outside. Let's go back up front here. Hey, Lytle leading Kwame Scott. Scott sending it here. 3 laps to go, coming to 2 this time. 2 laps to go at Iowa Speedway.
Just 2 to go. Can we get home without beating the green-white checker?
This battle continues back here. This is where we may see a caution here.
I think we're going to make it. Tate's coming off of 4. I think we're going to see the white flag. No more yellows. We're racing back no matter what. And Tate's got a comfortable lead here over Kwame. Oh, Latham's losing some ground back there. Not sure what happened.
I think we had a wreck in the back. Definitely a wreck in the back. Lots of cars changing spots there. Yep, big. Oh, we'll take a look at that one after the race ends here. Tate Lytle going to take the win.
Kwame Scott, RC, Scott Crump, Garrison Hogan, Latham Joyner, David Tooker, Ethan Burrell, Josh Adams, and Harrison Talon round out the top 10.
All right, so what we'll do here is we're going to back this up, take a look and see what happened. Oh my gosh, Harrison Talon got a top 10. How'd that happen? Taking a look here. Look at this gaggle here.
Okay, so this is the second wreck, right? This is the wreck.
This is the wreck.
Okay, so we're still a little bit away here. It happens off of 2, I believe, but everybody's boxed up here. That's what we were talking about. That's like the eye of the hurricane here. Chad is going to get into the 9. So it starts.
Kaner goes around.
He spins. The outside lane's where you want to be.
Jonathan Cutlip.
Weeks, Gerald, Cars, Johnny Thomas.
Johnny Thomas is a torpedo.
He's doing some gymnastics.
White Canadal, Dustin Dewar, Michael Goodman, Zach Evans. Evans, I think, breaks through this. Yari Brupacher just gets through. Johnny Thomas is still in the air. Michael Honsack.
Yeah, that car was like one of those USA gymnasts. Just
I hate to do this because someone may vomit, but we are going to go on board with Johnny Thomas. What? It's a roll bar here.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. What?
Okay, and then there's Fody. He was also Fody. They're still wrecking that.
Justin Vandermeer was in that as well. See him. Joe Campbell wrecked a few times. Jesse Rasmus.
Okay, right there on that restart now. I want to make sure we get whatever happened. Gerald made a great save here, and I would hate to hear from Gerald that we didn't get that save.
Back on the restart there, Chris.
Yeah, when they were 3 wide down the back, and Gerald did a nice. He made turn 3 and 4 there at a dirt track down there.
All right, we'll take a look here with Gerald. We'll go full speed.
So here we go. The 92 is going to be. Okay, so it's the next lap. It's not even this lap. It looks like they're coming to the restart that lap. They just stayed 2 by 2. So here we go. We get 3 wide. We got the 31, the 92, and the 56 right here. They're going to have it coming together. Ooh, a little bit of netcode brings them together. 31 gets turned sideways. Gerald's going to save. Look at that. Gerald's going to make the save somehow. I mean, and Josh gets a little bit of kudos for not hitting him to spin him out, but that was mostly Gerald. We're going to give 90% of that to Gerald making that
That
save.
was incredibly impressive there, as we will go ahead and we do have all three of our top three finishers ready for an interview here, Chris. So why don't we go ahead and start with the 50 car of RC Anderson here. Go ahead and bring him up for an interview.
All right, we are now joined by RC. RC, you're getting it's basically a weekly visit. It's something we don't have you at this point. So, what do you want to talk about this week in your weekly visit? How did you manage to find yourself at the front, and what more did you need to maybe go win the thing?
I think a huge one. I think the biggest fault. I mean, I did well in saving my tires. That green flag run was really fun. At a short track like this, it is tough to just keep focusing on doing the same things over and over, like because it's so short. But I saved my tires well. Started to make up the positions. Got up to about second on some good fortune with Crumpin and Fody getting into it a bit. I think I should have pitted a lap later than Scott. I don't think he practiced pit in, so I think he was thought it was like 50 feet sooner. So he checked up pretty big. I checked up really big, and I think Fody came from 3 seconds back and got right up behind us for the pit in. And Tate went a lap extra and hit the pit in really perfectly and was able to jump us. So that ultimately, I think I would have wished if I would have changed anything for that race, I would have gone that lap longer on the green flag run before the stops. I think that would have put me in the lead, and then I could have been controlling the restarts because once Tate got the lead and was controlling those, there's no getting to him and getting by. But overall, I mean, I'll take third. I know Fody didn't have exactly the best points night, and I know we're pretty much the two up at the front right now at the points. So it's good to get some few extra and head to the playoffs with some better position.
Absolutely, RC. And obviously, just 2 races remaining now until the playoffs. And tonight kind of gave us a little bit of a change from what we're used to with a long green flag run. Is that really what you're hoping to see over these next couple races and into the playoffs? A real chance to separate the guys that can save their tires from the guys that really just have that short run speed?
It helps a lot. I feel like more and more people though are getting the hang of the tire saving. A lot of the quick guys, I know they're like I think Scott Crump, he's really freaking fast at qualifying. How I was when I first joined in the league, I could always put it on top three, and then I just fall in the race. And he's keeping he's learning to save his tires. And there's a few others there that are getting really good at saving tires, and it's making it more difficult. There's like 10 of us up front 15 of us up front now that are doing really good jobs at saving tires. So it's getting more and more and more competitive. I think I was able to get the leg up with the early season races, getting all top fives. I think in the first 4 races. So that helped me jump me forward. And now I'm just kind of managing that and just trying to collect some podiums, collect some top fives, just get myself in the playoffs with a comfortable buffer and yeah, just consistent races.
Now you brought up Scott Crump, so I'm gonna ask you kind of two things here. One, we've set it up here all season. If Scott gets his internet fixed, he's going to be a real threat to win a lot of these races. And it looks like the last few races, Scott's internet's been fixed. He's been able to stay at the front. He's had good pace. So does he worry you come playoff time now that his internet seems to have been fixed up and he's up there like you said? He qualifies well. He races well. He was probably the second best car to you on the long run tonight. And any sponsors you want to thank and shout out you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, I think if he gets his internet fixed, it's going to solve a lot of problems. I mean, not even just the EOLs from blinking. It's just when you have not great internet connection, the net codes are so much bigger, and ends up putting him in a bad spot just because of net codes. Um, but yeah, if his internet's speeding up and he's able to race people close like he has the past two races or so, I think it may have been a few more than that he's been pretty good. So as long as the net codes stay away from him, and everybody can race really close, it's going to be a pretty good fight at the front. um, for my sponsors, Rayco Machine and Engineering Group. They're on every single one of my cars. Obviously, you guys up here in the booth, Pro Edge Racing. I mean, we're all battling to try to all be up front. We're all working together really well. It's been a fun season so far. Um, yeah, you guys up here in the booth, Chad, who runs the league. It's been so much fun.
Well, all right, RC. It was great talking to you again this week. We'll see you next week, same time, right?
Yep, sounds good. See you guys then.
All right. We're also joined again this week by Kwame Scott. Kwame, take us through your night, maybe what you needed to go and get Tate there at the end, with all those cautions after the long run. Needed what you just needed, just a little bit more laps there, or did you not really have anything for Tate?
Yeah, probably a little bit more laps. Me and Tate were racing pretty hard in that long run that we had before, and I think I was battling. It was a battle with me, Chad, and Tate, and me and Chad kind of made contact coming out too one lap. I forgot what lap it was, and yeah, I had to check up, and Tate was able to get around me. And after he got around me, like I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to catch up to him again. And he just managed to get through lap traffic way better than I did. And he ended up pulling like 2 seconds on me. Yeah, I think I just needed a track position on Tate. Really, like if I was if I was able to keep him behind me in that last run, I think that would have made all the difference. But it was gonna be tough to pass him later, in those closing laps.
Yeah, absolutely, Kwame. And we did have a long green flag run to start this thing. Something that we really haven't had the privilege of having much of this season, but you're kind of known to extend your runs a little bit. We've seen you win races with 150 lap old tires. And what was your strategy when it came to coming down pit road? Did you want to try to run that tank out as much as you could, or was it as soon as those tires really started to fall off that you knew it was time to come?
I mean, I usually like overcutting. I like to be the last one. Uh, Usually, I like to have the best tires, really. And I feel like if I'm able to extend my run, later than everyone else, and I get into pit road good and everything, I nail that. Uh, I'd be pretty set for the next run, and I think that would I think I was gonna be set that next run because I believe RSC got held up by Scott entering the pits when he went in, and I was catching those guys on my tires. I had like it wasn't like a major difference, but 3 or 4 lap pressure tires is a pretty big deal going into a long green flag run, and I needed that caution to come out a little bit later. I think if I had 10 more laps and I was able to maybe pass RC, uh, I would have been in pretty good shape.
Well, will you do you have a shot at the playoffs here, Kwame, or are you too far out of it?
I haven't done all the races this season, and the races that I have done, I've gotten wrecked out of. So I think I think this was my best finish in this series. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think I
looking at
have
the
a
points here,
chance.
it looks like you're just trophy hunting. So you're going to try to
Yeah.
run all the playoff races and win all these races, so these guys in the playoffs can't win.
I mean, yeah, I feel like, yeah, I'm just here to win, really. I mean, or at least try to win. Like I love racing these guys. Tate, RC, uh, Fody, Scott. These guys are really fun to race with. Week in and week out, and it's always a pleasure battling them. Seeing who gets to win every week. But yeah, best believe that every week I'm racing, I'm trying to win the thing.
And any sponsors you want to thank, shout out you want to give before we let you go?
HRR, Nexus, 213 somewhere. Chris, I have his shirt, right? You should buy my shirt.
Well, I mean, we're pretty good friends. I mean, you could send me a shirt.
Maybe I'll give you a little bit discount. I don't know if I could just send you it though.
Well, you know what? Where can you get your shirt at? Why don't you plug that?
Uh, 213 somewhere. Yeah, just go on 213somewhere.com. Look up my name, Kwame Scott, and yeah, get yourself a shirt. Yeah, I feel like I haven't promoted that as much as I should, but yeah, get a shirt.
Well, all right, there you go. You heard it from Kwame. Go get a shirt. He's out here trophy hunting. Going to be trophy hunting these playoffs and trying to make sure that these playoff guys know that they're racing for second. So good luck the rest of the season, Kwame, and we'll see you next week at the Nashville Fairgrounds.
Ooh, Nashville. All right. Yep. See you guys.
Now we're joined by our race winner, Tate Lytle. Tate, you joined us a couple weeks ago here at New Hampshire. It was not a great ending to your race, but
No.
tonight it was a perfect ending. You got the win. Take us through your night. Ultimately, how did you get the lead, and then how did you keep the lead with all those restarts, all those chances to mess up there at the end?
Well, getting the lead, I kind of went into save mode there at the start and got pinned on the bottom, and I just decided to eat it and fall back to wherever I fell back to, and just try and make sure I saved the tires better than the guys around me. And I mean, I fell back to 15th or 16th or so, and I just was thinking that if I got back to the top 10, it'd be, probably pretty good, because historically I haven't been real good at saving tires at Iowa. And I don't know, we kind of fell off to like a 25, 3 or 4, and everyone else kept falling off to like a 5 or 6. We were able to just kind of hang there with those 3 and 4s, and we were able to make up a lot of time before we pitted. And I knew I had a lap car on the bottom, and I knew Crump and RC, and I'm trying to think who else was around me, Fody and Kwame maybe. I knew they were all going to, or at least everyone but Kwame was going to pit that lap that they did. So I decided to go back around one more time just so I could have open track and try and make the most on pit entry, and then also have a lap fresher tires to go to battle with. And I don't know what happened on their pit entry. I heard Crump kind of was maybe think that the cone was a little earlier than it was, but I was able to get a really good pit entry, really good pit exit, and was able to come out in front of those guys. And from there, I think if it went green, the only one I would have even had to worry about was probably Kwame, because he stayed out a couple extra laps, but he was going to have a lot of time to make up. So I felt pretty good. And then those cautions, I wasn't real sure how I felt on the short run. I felt like everyone else could get into turn 1 a little bit better than me, but I knew if I could hold the outside in 3 and 4, it was going to be really hard for anyone to do anything. And those cautions kept falling, and I wasn't sure on that last run what it was going to bring. I think 5 or 6 laps, but I was able to put some good laps together. And yeah, it feels good to won last Wednesday as well after a little bit of a dry spell. And it rough start to the season in both series, but feels good to get in the win column there and see what we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been able to see you in Victor Lane twice in the last week, so that's fun. But obviously, a nice change of pace tonight with a long green flag run, something
Yes.
we have not had enough of this season. Tate, how good does it feel to get that long run, and what was your strategy when it came to saving the tires tonight?
I mean, I don't really know if I had any strategy. I was just kind of put in a box. I knew that running the bottom was going to save the right rear quite a bit better. We're up in the top, you're on the gas so much more, and the right rear is just doing twice as much work. And I was trying to run the bottom, and then I kind of moved into the middle lane, and there was a lot of grip there, and everyone else was still running the top. And after a while, I just felt like I was able to get off the corner a lot better than those guys. And once I was able to get around Kwame and Chad there for 8th or 9th or so, it was kind of just full sail forward. Got by Adams and Jesse, and was working my way around Fody there right before pit stops, and was catching Crump pretty good. Me and RC were pretty. I might have been catching him a little bit, but not enough to where it was going to be a huge difference. So when I came out in front of those guys, I was pretty shocked. And at that point, I knew, especially with the extra 1 lap less on the tires, it was kind of in my hands at that point to do what I had to do.
Yeah, now all 3 of you guys brought up the overcut versus the undercut and when to pit. What goes into that? What were you thinking there, and what makes you want to do an overcut versus an undercut? You know, a lot of guys want to get on pit road first. Kwame mentioned wanting to be last, and then after you answer that, are there any sponsors and shout outs you want to give?
I mean, it's definitely better to be last just because you're on offense, but I don't know. I think where I pitted was probably the happy medium, especially with how slow those guys got on pit road. I had 2 lap older tires than Kwame, but I think I was like 5 seconds ahead of him. So Kwame was fast, but I was trying to run a save line just to where if by chance he did get back to me, I could run the top and at least make it really hard on him to get by me. And I don't know. It's a happy medium wherever you go. Some places, I know back with the Gen 6, it was the later you went, the better off you were. But a lot of times that's not the case. And there was a solid 2 seconds of fall off almost with this setup tonight. So, which is good. And I think that makes the overcut a little bit better. The undercut works really good at places like Dover and like concrete tracks where the tires don't necessarily wear out as much, and you still lose time, but not 2 seconds worth of time. And Iowa is a pretty rough surface, so it chews through those tires pretty good. But got to give a shout out to days gone by. Brent Wentz wasn't able to do it for a couple months because we we weren't running very well, but 2 times last 5 days. Hopefully that makes up for it. Shout out to Jonathan Cutlip for all the paint schemes that he does for me and a lot of other people in the race. And thanks to you guys, I guess, for watching us race fake race cars for less than minimum wage.
Well, they're
I
all.
don't know what the minimum wage is up in Canada, but it can't be less than what you're making tonight, Robert. So
I think up there they're happy to get a quarter.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's
no, I
It's
make
nice
fun
to
of
get a
Canada a
quarter.
lot, but they're not that bad.
Fine, 38 cents. We'll give them a little bit more.
we try, but hey, just before you do leave us here tonight, obviously, like you mentioned, you won Wednesday, you won tonight. How good you feeling right now?
Like a week ago, if you would ask me, I'd been like, I don't know. Have I lost a little bit of it? I mean, that's how quick it can go.
It wasn't
then-
looking good when were you up in the catch fence there in New Hampshire, was it?
No, that was pretty. I wasn't sure what I needed to do at that point because I don't know. I just didn't feel like I had it, and then the last 2 elite races that I've been in to win at tracks where I wouldn't necessarily think that I would be a front runner. I mean, I figured top 5 or so, but not winning pace. Feels pretty good, and I don't know if we necessarily had winning pace at most places, but we were fast enough and we were at the right spot, and made the right decisions at the right time, and a lot of times that's all it takes.
Yeah, and let's not forget, you're coming off a couple championships here in the A season and whatnot, and I feel like you're kind of under the radar, to be a champion, and as recent as you've been a champion, and nobody really talks about you. Fody still gets all the love, and you're the guy that's the defending champion.
Yeah, I mean, Fody deserved the love. He's fast everywhere we go, any car we're in.
Hey,
I mean,
Fody can't close right now. It's rough on him in the second half of these races.
And a lot of that's not his fault. I mean, guys like Fody and RC and Kwame and Crump and trying to think who else is up there. I mean, I know I'm leaving out 3 or 4. I doubt any of them are listening this late in the broadcast, but if I did leave them out, I mean, but there's a lot of good drivers in this series, especially, and there's a couple new guys, Blaze and Latham. They're pretty fast. They're still trying to get their feet underneath them. Trying to find that happy medium between respecting us and trying to get the respect from us. I don't think they've quite figured that out yet, but hopefully they do in the near future because they got a lot of pace in them too. And I don't know, when you win in this league, you feel accomplished. So I'm feeling pretty accomplished right now. I'm gonna go do like 4 hours of homework and hopefully watch the Raiders lose. And
Hey, they're up 17-0 last time I checked.
the Raiders?
Yep.
Now listen, Tate.
I don't know. My Texans were up 24-0 one time and lost. So.
Yeah, 17-0 with 8:44 to go in the second quarter.
So next week, Tate, we go to
Run!
We go to Nashville Fairgrounds next week, Tate. All right, we saw 110 lap green flag
I'm
run.
glad I won tonight then.
How many laps of caution do we have out of 150 next week? Early guess here.
I'll set the line at 83.5, and I think that the over/under for my incident points would probably be about 18.5, 19.5. I don't foresee myself doing very well there. Short tracks, for whatever reason, I get junked a lot.
Especially a short track that's like the second lane to the bottom, kind of a one lane. I'm taking the over on the 83 here. Like if you just said 100, I'd have taken the over.
Man, I hope not. But I wouldn't put it past us on these short tracks. That's the thing that's the problem when you have all these guys that are really good. Is someone's got to run 8th. someone has to run 8th. There's going to be someone that's going to run 8th place.
For sure, and that's why we brought Ethan in tonight.
Eighth, man. That's wreck for. I'm trying to think.
And there's 13 guys in the series that think that they should win every week, and that's fine. It's great to have all that competition, but someone's got to run 8th, and sometimes it's your turn, and a lot of these guys can't handle that. So hopefully they can handle that, and I'm sure I'll be the guy running 8th, and if I could finish 8th, I'll be pretty happy.
I think the goal for next week for everybody should be to leave that place with no incident.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck with that one. But all right, it's got to be like midnight in Canada right now, so we better let Bobby get out of here.
Well,
all right, he doesn't have a comment on that. And you live in Ohio. That's like, I don't know. I'd rather live in Canada than Ohio.
Oh, come on, no way. Come on, no.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Ohio? What do you hate about us?
The
Everything.
Browns, the Buckeyes.
Yeah, well, I agree. I hate the Browns. I'm not a fan of the Buckeyes.
I stopped in name what's like the third most famous town in Ohio?
The third most famous? I don't know. I mean,
not Cleveland, not Cincinnati.
Columbus?
Yeah, I stopped in Columbus, Ohio one time, and I thought I was going to get robbed, so bad vibes.
You could have gone to see the Blue Jackets play. That's in hockey.
People who live in Columbus
Not
don't
in
want to see
May.
the Blue Jackets play.
Why not? Oh yeah, they don't make the May. They don't make
That's
the
like going
playoffs.
to the Reds. You know, they just lost 100 games down there. Like, who's going to see the Cincinnati Reds?
We're not talking about baseball today.
Rough time
What
for
do you
you.
guys watch in Canada?
We watch hockey, and then in the summer we watch hockey on grass.
Is that lacrosse?
No, it's field hockey.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing.
No,
that's
no,
really
it's
creative
it's
for every
it's
sport,
hockey.
but, like, hockey's year round up here. Come on.
It's hockey and lacrosse up here for sure.
Wow. All right.
What
well,
about the CFL? You got that up there, don't you?
We do. I mean, my team won like their
Nobody
third
cares
game
about
of the
that.
year today, I think. But
yeah, no one cares about that.
yeah, that's right.
Well, all right, Tate. We'll let you jump out.
Thank you, Tate.
That's where all of our rejects go to play.
That's right. Thank you for
Johnny
them.
Manziel's up there.
No, he got cut.
Johnny
Hey,
Manziel couldn't even cut
At
it.
least the Raptors won that one time, so you guys have
That's
something.
right. That's right. Yeah. No, Johnny Manziel got cut from Canada. The whole country just cut him.
Hey, it happens.
That's right.
Hey,
That's right.
When people get famous in Canada, they get out of the country. They don't even stick around.
I stuck around. Oh, I'm not famous, but yeah.
Shania Twain
Absolutely.
got out of there. Avril Lavigne got out of there.
All right, moving on.
They all left, get famous, and get out. Even who did you guys
All right,
have?
we need to end this stream because this is gonna. We've spent 30 minutes on nothing here. So
Hey,
y'all have a good one. End
Thanks,
the
Tate.
stream. Anyone that's still listening, there's not, but if you are, you're a real one. Check out Days Go By Vintage Racing Apparel. And I'm sorry you had to listen to Robert and Chris all night. Peace.
So I want to give a quick shout out here, Chris, before we get going here. This guy right here said he was going to get a top 20 tonight, and he was able to get a top 10 somehow. I know there was a wreck, but we have to give a shout out to the absolute godly legend himself, Harrison Talon. He was a lap down at one point, and he came back to finish 10th here. So kudos to Harrison for that. The guy's definitely better than me in every aspect of driving, and congratulations to him on a great finish here tonight.
Yeah, and congratulations to Tate. Tate getting the win. Thank all of our sponsors, Mrs. Goodies Goodies, Grand National Series,
Absolutely.
everybody at TA Services, Mrs. Goodies Goodies, Blue Egg Marketing, Brixi Cam, everybody here at the Elite Racing Network, JD's Hilltop Salvage. Did I miss anybody? Dave Huckleberry, yourself, Robert, and Tate always gives us plenty of time, even when he doesn't win and we bring him up here. So all these guys are really nice, and we will see you next week for us at the Nashville Fairgrounds. But there is a Cup race on Wednesday and an IndyCar race on Friday, so whatever series you're wanting to look at or watch, it's here on the Elite Racing Network. We'll see you next time.